everybody, hello, and welcome back to SASE 2021. Apologies for the somewhat lengthy setup time, but we've been able to sort everything out, and we're back here. And before I throw it over to Pointy Legend for some Resident Evil 7, I do have some donations that I would like to read out. First off, we have $10 from Benji saying, "Let's go, Pointy, go save Zoe." And that reminds me, we did have a donation incentive for this run, which got met very early on, so we will be saving Zoe instead of Mia.
Perfect.
And we also have a further $30 from your very own co-commentator here, Loopy Lee, saying, "Come on, Pointy, you got this." And with that, I'll be handing it over to Pointy Legend and Loopy Lee to show us Resident Evil 7.
Thank you very much. Cheers. So hi guys, I'm Pointy. I've got Leah with me. We're going to be doing Resident Evil 7, New Game Plus Easy, any percent, and yeah, we'll get going now because it's quite long, and we'll talk through the ins and outs as we're going. So yeah, right, for the timer, 3, 2, 1, go. I think.
Hey baby, I
just for context as well, I usually do this in Japanese because it's half a second faster than English, but for the sake of the marathon I thought I'd best do it in English. And this is the Japanese version of the game as well, so it is censored. So certain things, I will point this out when we get to them, what's different than it would be usually.
And if I'm right, there's 3 different versions of the games and 3 different censored levels.
Yes. I'm not quite sure what the other one is though. I'm not quite sure how that one works, but...
No, but this is the highest sensitivity.
Yeah, basically.
This blocks out all the gore. Well, not all of it, but...
It blocks out the majority of the gore. Yeah. But not the swearing, unfortunately, so cover your ears if you don't like swearing, because there's a fair bit in this at times.
You were right. I did lie to you. I shouldn't have.
And there is quite a few cutscenes as well which aren't skippable. There's one cutscene which is the best cutscene in the game, which is skippable.
Stay
so,
away.
You know, we've got quite a few little segments where we can just sit and find out a bit of the story or whatever's happening. The intro's quite long.
Hey,
it takes about
it's Ethan.
15 minutes for the game, well, for the run to fully get going.
I'm good.
I know a lot of people in the Resident Evil 7 community don't like the start of this game. We've purposely made a category now that doesn't have the start included, so you can just start basically from when the action starts.
Somehow.
Because it is quite tedious, especially if you die and you need to reset at the start, you've got to go through all this again. It can be a bit annoying at times.
I know.
But it is a really good run.
What if it is her?
It's the first one I picked up last year, so if I can do it, anyone can do it. Leah can do it, so...
I cannot do it.
You can. Right. So for the New Game Plus aspect, we have 4 items. We've got a pistol, a circular saw, which is extremely overpowered along with the pistol. We have some walking shoes, which make us walk faster.
This is the place.
And unlimited ammo. And that is basically the only things that we use. Oh, we do get another pistol as well that you do get at the start of the game, which does come in useful as well.
You also use the Secrets of Defense at the start as well, don't you?
Yes. We do. It's going to be so weird watching it, like, especially from my community, people seeing this in English again, because we're so used to Japanese. They'd be like, oh, this is different.
Some of the best phrases come from the Japanese version.
Yep. The amount of sound clips we've had from the Japanese version, it's ridiculous.
So the character you're currently playing is Ethan Winters. He has received a email from his wife. It's his wife.
Yeah.
And she has been missing for 3 years. and she suddenly told him that she's in Bellevue, Louisiana, and he needs to come and get her. And for some reason, he's blindly walking into an abandoned house.
As you
trying
do.
to find her.
Just a little bit of what I'm about to do here. I'm going to do a retry because Ethan's speed outside is faster than it is inside. So if you do a little retry there, it keeps a little bit of that momentum from outside going. So you get a little speed boost. It's not particularly noticeable, but it is definitely a thing. And there's 3 of those that we do throughout this run. 2 at the start and 1 at the end. But the one at the end is... He's like Sonic, basically, at the end. It's, the first time I did it, I was like, whoa, this is weird. Because he's so speedy.
Especially when you go from the slow section into
Yeah,
that
exactly.
super boosted fast section.
It's a shame you can't do ladders quicker, but we'll forgive him for that one.
Damn it.
In all fairness, he doesn't do much very quick in this game.
He doesn't, bless him.
His wife is needing to be saved, and he's just taking his time.
Yeah, casual Friday. But this part on the casual playthrough is quite daunting. Underground a house, and you start seeing bubbles popping up in a second. It's like, I don't want to go any further than this. As we go under this pillar here, if we look to the right and face the wall and strafe along the wall, it avoids a zombie that pops up, which costs you like maybe 5 or 6 seconds or so. So if we do that, we get to avoid him.
And earlier on in a casual playthrough, you'll play these found footage tapes, and it'll explain why there's bodies floating around everywhere from some of the people that went missing.
So like with any good Resident Evil game, there's bolt cutters. And me and Leah were discussing this before. There's like, you usually get your bolt cutters, a fuse, a wheel of some sort, and a crank.
Elevator.
And an elevator. We decided there's an elevator in every Resident Evil game.
What do you mean? You contacted
So we've got the trusty bolt cutters.
No, I wouldn't. Did I?
And this is where you
Did anyone see you? Did
think
he
she's
see
acting
you?
a bit strange.
Who else is here? What the hell's going on?
Daddy's coming. We need to go.
Daddy?
We need to go
Menuing is
now.
also a very important part of this speedrun. So, like for now, I need to move those down there, and I need to get rid of this email because we don't need it.
Where are you taking
But the good thing about this is, wherever you leave your cursor, next time you go into your menu, your cursor stays in the same place. So it's really handy for certain
3 years?
menuing
Has it
times.
really been 3 years?
This always makes me laugh, this part, because she jumps at nothing. Silly man.
She's been down there that long, you would think that
I know.
nothing scares her anymore.
What is this
Well, no.
place? What'd they do to you?
Not now. We need to get out of
But
here
this is
first.
part of the reason why this is so tedious.
Yeah.
Because
You've
you have
literally
to follow
just got
behind
to,
her. You
yeah.
can't overtake her.
You can try, I've tried everything, I've tried like crouch clipping through her, I've tried everything, you just cannot get past her. Even that gap there, it's like, no. It's extremely annoying, especially like I said before, if you die at the start, past this bit and you need to do a reset, and it's like another 15 minutes waiting for it to
We have to talk.
move her bum out of the way.
Not me. That wasn't me.
But you did.
I didn't.
You did though.
Fine. Just tell me what's going on.
I do like that he just accepts it. He just goes like, alright,
It's just okay, Mia, right?
the woman's right.
We have to go this way.
Never argue with your woman. Come on. Also, Benji and Leah, thanks for the
Family used to
the
bring me
donations
food
as
for
well
here.
towards this.
I remember.
And Saving Zoe, which a lot of people, I don't know if anyone here has played or seen this game before, but Saving Zoe as part of the speedrun isn't a thing because it's longer, so it's obviously pointless. But so many people who played this haven't actually seen that ending, and it's the bad ending,
There. It's there.
which I chose the first time I played it because I was still kind of annoyed that
This is it.
I'd gone to save my wife and she kept trying to kill me, so the stubborn part of me was like, well, no, I'm not saving you now. That's it, I'm going to save Zoe instead.
I remember this room.
Right, this is a time-based thing.
I'm sure of it.
We've just got to wait for an audio cue and then we can be on our merry way.
We're gonna be a family now that you're here.
Ramblings of a mad woman.
There's another door here. I'm sure of it.
There we go.
So when you're in that room, you'll notice that that wall is blocked up, and
Yeah.
there's something that's smashed through to create that door. And she's convinced that there was a door there, and for some reason just doesn't realise that it's slightly boarded up.
And then you hear the knocking downstairs, like, who? Whatever could that be? Nothing bad's going to come of this.
And then you get this grudge-esque.
It turns out you're extremely wrong. And there she is, your beautiful wife who hasn't been to the dentist in 3 years. So no matter what you do here, it'll pop up to say like resist and stuff, but no matter what you do, you take the same amount of damage. You just let it play out basically. And then here, if you move towards her, it starts the animation.
It doesn't resist and make it last longer.
And it makes it last longer if you resist as well. So just let her do what she needs to do. You're not going to die. It's just part of the game. It's just like an interactive cutscene. These poor hands. You've seen so much already.
I can hear her. I can
He's
feel
done
her
it in his cursed
clawing her
hands.
way back inside of me.
Bless him. I feel sorry for him, especially after playing for them.
Leave me alone. I'm been bad. I deserve this.
And it's like, what is going on? Why is she crazy? You can just wait here for her to stand up, but I always go and grab a heal from in here just because nothing wrong with having full health. Sure it's around here. There we go. I've got the hang of that after like trying to figure out where to stand for so long.
Did you read through the thing again and
Yes.
see the paint mark?
I was like, yes, okay, I should have read this properly like months ago.
When I read through it, I was like, oh god damn it.
Here. Okay. I took a little bit longer than it probably should have done, but she's going to land in a you want her to land in the hallway. So when you're running back down here, it's easy to pick the axe up again. If she lands in the room, it's a slight time loss.
The worst one is when she can land in the corner.
Yeah.
And then you've got to
It's like, cheers,
take
mate.
a little detour.
I think there's about 8 phone calls in this game, but you only have to answer
Who's this?
3 or 4
What
of
the fuck
them.
is going on?
So this is the first one.
There should be a way out through the attic.
Attic.
And this mysterious person called Zoe is trying to...
Now.
Right, let's go. So as you can see, the axe is there, Mia's disappeared. Blood on the walls, fantastic. Here is the second retry. And now we're heading through the kitchen to get the good old fuse.
Bye-bye to the bolt cart.
Yeah, and that's the last time you use the bolt cutters now, which is slightly disappointing. Remember on the casual playthrough, it's like, yeah, I am not going through that door while she's there. See you later. Fuse goes in the fuse box, and then you get a nice little jump scare here.
It's okay, it's me.
Which I was expecting the first time I played it, because I was looking around that corner like, she must be there. And then there's like, she's not. And then come out and got it's like, ugh.
It fucking hurts.
So this, in the uncensored version, is a screwdriver through the hand. Now, how that is any less worse than a screwdriver in the hand, I don't know.
I'd much prefer a screwdriver in the
I think
hand
I'd much
than
prefer a
something
screwdriver
through
through
my
the hand,
wrist
to be honest.
Let's see.
I think that would be incredibly painful.
Yeah, agreed. And in the uncensored version, you do get your arm chopped off at that point. Nancy. So this next part, for some reason, these past 2 days have become an absolute nightmare for me. So, wish me luck because I think I'm going to need it.
If you weren't playing on the uncensored version and you were playing on the normal version, there would be the hand on the floor. And
Oh, yeah.
if you were walking past it, you wouldn't pick it up because you don't need it. And someone will just magically find it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, there is a gun in the room to our right now, but for the speedrun, it's quicker to just use the axe. Right, don't die, Pointy. Start, to be honest. You want to try and hit her in the legs because it does double the damage. There we go, we've got it. Okay, I'm not worried about the rest of the run now. That's all I've been stressing about is for 2 days is getting through that bit. And now
So the usual amount of hits that Pointy will get on that is about 4 to 6,
Yeah,
but the
you can-
minimum is 2.
Yeah, you can do it in 2 on console. On PC, you can get her in 1 hit. I'll take that though. I'm not going to check the time.
15 minutes you're on at the moment.
Welcome to the family, son.
And that is one of the iconic lines from this game. Is welcome to the family, son. So that is it. That's Jack. He's possibly, considering when you like on other Resident Evil games, you've got like Mr. X chasing you, etc., etc. I find Jack more terrifying because he just looks like your average guy, but he's horrible to face first time you see him.
And he's also super fast.
He is super fast, super strong.
You hear him, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll run away from him, and then 5 seconds later he's at your throat.
Come on, don't you die on us now. You
Nice,
have work
Ben.
to do.
That's the only thing with this is I'd love to get a PB, but it'd have to be perfect because I've got like the Zoe ending, which is like 2 minutes longer than the Mia one. So to get a PB,
So, yeah,
it'd have to be.
Zoe has
Pretty
magically
close.
found your hand.
Where
They
am
put
I?
it on, and she's now gonna
What the
hope
hell?
that you'll help her.
Yeah.
It's time for supper.
So you've got Grandma,
Who are all you
you've got
people?
Lucas, who's
Where's Mia?
the wild child of the family.
He's our favourite.
Yeah, I love Lucas.
Eat it.
Jack
It's good.
and Marguerite, but we just call them Marge.
Yes.
And then, at this point, his arm would come off on the uncensored version. And he does say, not again, so which I'm guessing maybe he has done it before, but his arm regenerates maybe.
When
A virus.
when you look at the notes throughout the game, it also shows that even before all of this, he'd get like beaten for loads of different things.
Right, okay, so it could be a reference to
It-
getting
He
beaten.
is sort of an abused child because
Yeah.
he's a bit of a rebel.
No boy.
I still always wondered where he stabbed you here. Like, is it the cheek? Is it in the mouth? Does he try and pull a tooth out? Like, I've always
Yeah, I
wondered what he
think he's
does.
trying to pry your teeth open, but obviously your lips would be in the way.
I thought so.
I'm coming back for you.
But it looks like he's sort of stabbing just below your eyes, so maybe he's just cutting your nose off, you know?
Right, so here we just need to rock ourselves out of this chair. Because Grandma is completely useless and will not help us. And now we need to get exploring the house. So the most tedious part of the game is probably out of the way. So you come down here, Jack's going to try and grab you. There's a key on that table. You need to try and avoid him. Yeah, avoid him just like that, Chris. Well done. You need to interact with this door because it helps with something else that happens in a second. Right, so that's good. We've got past Jack.
one grab is alright.
Yeah, 1 grab's okay, 2 grabs isn't great. If he grabs you 3 times, it's extreme time loss.
And then if he was to come in the room now and grab Ethan, he cuts off his leg with the shovel and then proceeds to show him that he can just magically glue it back on with a
Yep.
first aid kit.
Exactly, as you do. But that's because Ethan's a hard man.
He is. Massive badass.
Ethan got a lot of stick for this game as well, but I really liked him. Right, so
I
here's
mean,
the...
he takes a lot.
He does take a lot. Here's the second phone call that you
Good, Ethan.
take.
Zoe, right? What the fuck are you?
Shut up and listen if you want to stay alive. You gotta get out of that house. There might be a way out through the main hall.
Alright.
So the main hall is where those
Nothing
double
on
doors
your
are where I
list
had
is
to
codex. Don't lose it. It's
touch a
important.
second ago after I grabbed the key. And I'll explain why I had to touch it in a second. Right, okay. Straight down the line. So you grab all your weapons now. So you've got your Albert pistol, you've got your circular saw. You have to touch this pillar here, which spawns the policeman. But right, so after I grab the hatch key, if you don't touch the double doors, the policeman doesn't spawn and you have to go all the way back and touch the doors and then come back and you do.
Your property.
What? Me? No. No.
All right. Now we got several calls.
Another
about the
unskippable
missing person
cutscene.
lately.
You don't understand. I gotta get out of here.
Calm down.
The saw is
You're not
extreme,
listening
like
to me. There are crazy people in this
all the
house
new
trying
Game
to
Plus
fucking
items
kill me.
are
Well, all right.
like disgustingly overpowered, especially the pistols because you get enhanced ammo as well. So that in itself does more
Are you
damage.
kidding me?
Look,
Plus the
like I
Albert
said,
pistol is
we've had several missing persons
disgusting.
calls.
You
And
just
I can't
headshot
rule
everyone
out
once
that
and that's
an
it.
outsider like yourself
And the saw's good for boss fights mostly
I'll tell you whatever you want.
because damage per second is
That's a whole lot.
ridiculous.
Now, meet me in the garage. We'll talk to you.
Hey, wait.
You need to
You gotta
help
give
me,
me your
mate.
gun.
You must have lost your mind.
Look, officer.
Deputy.
Right. Deputy.
So this is where you get a pocket knife
Want to see my name in the obituaries?
because what Resident Evil game again
One of you
doesn't have a
will
pocket
save
knife.
my life.
You adding that one to the list, are you?
Yeah,
A fucking pocket knife?
Here. Take it.
I mean, he doesn't seem too pleased about it.
Now go.
I mean,
But
neither
he's
would
got
I.
a
If someone's
massive soul in his pocket.
well, yeah, that's true. So why is he crying about a knife and you've
What am
got a
I gonna
saw?
do with a knife?
Oh, here's another thing that has the Resident Evil games: a box that needs cutting open.
Is that in everyone?
I think so.
I might disagree with you on that one.
Actually, yeah, I know what you're going to say.
We gotta
Actually,
get the fuck out of here.
Now, first
right. So
you need to
this
tell me what
is
you're doing
your.
out here alone in the middle
If
of
you
the
class the fight in the attic with the
What about
chainsaw and
you?
me
What's
as a
my
boss
job?
fight,
Won't you do your job
this is
and
your
tell
second
me?
boss fight.
Answer
This is
my
the first
question.
boss fight where you encounter Jack.
Try. Hey, put that on.
This bit on the uncensored version is grim because his head just comes clean off like it's chocolate. Right, so we grab that. Oh no 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 no! Pistol off the floor. We switch to our enhanced ammo. We shoot Jack once, maybe twice. And he says my favourite line in the game, which I will not repeat today. Do some menuing and then put your cursor back there.
Better start running.
Unless it's at the last. Okay,
Beautiful.
so that is Jack. That's Jack 1 done. As easy as pie. And here it's basically.
And as you notice from Pointy saying Jack 1, he does return. Ow.
I shouldn't have done that. I usually shoot him again. Why didn't I shoot him again?
I don't know.
No, I don't know why I didn't shoot him again. So I've just lost a little
They
bit of
usually
time.
wouldn't grab you there.
No, you're supposed to make sure Jack doesn't grab you there because A, it's a time loss. And, yeah. I'm assuming it does some damage to you as well, so congratulations to me. It's fine.
Do I have your attention, boy? You're about to see some wonderful. Oh, fuck!
It's a bit late to
Me and
shout
Jack
that.
have a different idea of wonderful.
We're about to see some. Right, so What am I doing? I can't do this now. I've messed it up. Ha!
So usually there would be a quick turn grab there,
They're supposed to, yeah.
where you press 3 buttons simultaneously, and you can turn it around, grab it, and unscrew it all at the same time.
Yeah. Or you're just doing me and do it wrong. Right, so now we need to go back to the main hall. And this is where you'd start exploring the rest of the house. You've just got the missing piece, which is the ox. Is the ox, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Right. Next we need to go to the clock. And grab the pendulum. Make our way upstairs. Grandma again, doing nothing to help us out.
Grandma's the main hero, obviously.
Yep. Right, so we need to go to the bathroom, and we need to interact with the bath. Which drains. We grab a puzzle piece, which we will do in a second.
Heck of a thing. Sure shit beats the hell out of dying.
And then we need to get back downstairs.
My little girl.
And we need to set up for an out of bounds here, which you don't have to do, but it does save
As you can see,
a fair bit of time on the run.
only part.
So I shoot here to try and get his attention to drop down quicker. Because there are instances where he will get stuck upstairs. And it's pretty much rip run at that point. He has just dropped, I think.
Don't move.
Yes, Jack. Yes, Jack. That should be okay, I'm hoping. Right, so then that puzzle piece we just got out of the bath goes on this little thing here. And yeah, we've messed up out of bounds already. GG, Chris. No, we're just going to have to kill Jack at this point. Do the puzzle and then wake him back up again. I knew he dropped down too quick for my liking.
3 of these puzzles throughout the game,
Yeah.
where you have to line up the shadow with the light. God knows how they work, but
They do.
they can be a bit temperamental, where if you don't have them lined up right, they won't work. And sometimes you can have them lined up perfectly, and they definitely don't work.
Right, come on, Jack. Let's play nice for this out of bounds, please, mate. I messed this up before as well, and I did my little practice run, so I forgot he's not going to go with one hit because I've already killed him. Right, so we just stand here, and he'll like push us through the wall, and then we go out of bounds. So this is to get a key card for later on in the game. Like I said, it's probably, I think it's like 17 seconds or 15 seconds faster than it doing it properly.
As I learned the other day, you need to make sure that you don't touch the house, otherwise you get very much locked.
Right, so you need to just drop down somewhere. Hello, Ethan? Ethan? Pause the game, let it load in, and then you grab the key card.
If you don't pause at the right time, you will just carry on falling,
God.
or you will get trapped too far up.
Thank you.
If you get trapped,
Good
then you
sir.
have to, in a way, restart. And if you carry on falling, then it'll just spawn you straight back to where you got first trapped into the...
So that is a puzzle. There is a little riddle. I can't remember what it is, but it's
The
something to do.
handprint and 3 A's.
Yes, that's the one. That's
So
what it is.
it's Tamara, and the one with the red handprint on it.
That's my favourite headshot in the game because it's just so satisfying every time it happens. Well, that's
So
what I mean
just
with
on
this
that
pistol.
shelf-
Sorry, go on.
It's alright. Just on that shelf is the dog head that you're looking for. If you click on it, it activates cutscene, but you don't want to click it because you want to save time.
Right, so here is Jack 2. So you've got the second dog head that you need. Or third dog head. So the trick here, one shot to the head, get the saw on his bulbous bit, as they call it. And then while he's going to get his new toy, we will do some menuing. So we need to put the cursor there. Grab the chainsaw, which we don't use. And then mess it up anyway. And as soon as he says you're going to die here, that is the end of the chapter. You're supposed to take 2 pistol bullets and the sword, and that is it. Not miss the shots like me.
And there you've completed the objective of getting all 3 dog heads.
Yep. I was so excited to get a chainsaw. I was like, yes, we get to use a chainsaw. And it's like, oh. My dreams are taken away from me within seconds. It's like, great. May as well reload this. We're already behind on time. We don't want to waste a bit more. So now we're going to get a scorpion key, which opens another door to get back into the main hall of the house, which is over here in whatever this is. So we've got the scorpion key. Technically, on a casual playthrough, you'd have been down here already. When you did the shadow puzzle, they open like little cracks in the wall for you to crawl through, or squeeze through, should I say. Right, so scorpion key goes in the door. You move your cursor across one to the left or the right, depending on which side you've done it, and you can just spam A and enter each piece of the door. So this is the 3rd phone call now that you have to answer. You have to turn around and go back in again.
You're the first I've ever seen make it this far.
So what is it you need me to do? Is it gonna help me get out of here?
Yes. Now listen carefully, Ethan.
This
My
next part,
family and
I didn't like the
our
first time I
bodies are
played it.
contaminated. I can't
Just
leave
because
the property unless I get it out.
It's quite freaky at times.
And the same goes for Mia.
Is there a way to get it out?
Marge
We need to
is
cure 'em. It should clear whatever this
a
stuff
pain,
is out of the body.
to say the least.
As long as you're not too far gone.
All right. So where is it?
If I knew where one
Oh,
was,
you're
I'd already be
while you're
long
doing
gone.
the
But I have a feeling my mother
the
has
part where you
hidden
collect the
some
dog
inside
heads,
the
there is a
old house
TV
somewhere.
upstairs with a
So if we
tape,
get this
and that
thing,
is
I
a
can help Mia and we
tape
can get out
from
of here.
Mia,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it shows her running away from Marguerite throughout the house that we're about to enter.
So it gives you a little bit of a clue of what you're supposed to be doing.
My mother.
Yeah, and these found footage tapes always give you a little bit of an insight to what comes next.
Yeah.
And it helps us learn that that's where we need to go and find Mia, because that's where she's been taken to as well.
I forgot about the tapes. I quite enjoyed them parts.
Found footage ones are great.
Yeah.
I really like the first one with the swamp gators.
I didn't like this with the dolls hanging. I was like, no, thank you. Please don't come to life. Please don't attack me. I'm just looking for my wife. Right, so we need to crouch under here and shoot this net 3 times, which will get rid of those bugs. And then we get.
And as you go down
on.
here, there is a cutscene as you pick up this puzzle piece of Mia, who's trapped down there, and then she gets dragged away by Lucas, who brings her to play her little game.
Yeah. And we just grab the second puzzle piece for the next shadow puzzle. So here you can just use the circular saw on the door to get rid of those bugs. If not, it takes a very long time. I almost forgot how to do that one then. I was like, no!
In all fairness, I don't know how you do them so quick.
I know which ways to move the sticks now. Like the first one I think it's like the 10 o'clock position on both. This one is like 9 o'clock position on both. And then
Sounds far too complex.
last one is just move both sticks up. But the last one, you know, is probably the worst one to do. It's a pain in the backside. So this, I think, is this the part you see on the tapes, or am I wrong with that?
Yes, so Mia would jump down this hole, she goes right to the end and grabs well, she doesn't grab it. She sees the crank that you're about to pick up, and then everything goes black. She turns around, and Marguerite drags her off.
I always shoot that little bug there just because it can follow you about and just start jabbing you, and it's like, please go away. So it's easier to just shoot it. Use the crank
Quite
here.
satisfying.
There's some nice little drawbridge for us. I need some health at some point. So I usually shoot that 3 times, and you'll see why in a second. So Marguerite is stood here, but her AI is so bad that she doesn't see you, and then she sees you. But 9 times out of 10, you can just sneak past her, and she just won't have a clue that you're there. And all the other skips I've got to do, it doesn't bode well that the simple things aren't going well, never mind the skips. Right, take the health, grab the crow key.
Recently, she's been a bit of a pain there.
She has, but I think I'm getting far too close to her when I go through the door, so it's kind of my own fault. So she should have left this room now. You can just go back. You can shoot this nest for the last time, so you don't have to crouch to go through because it's quicker. And this is one of my favourite jump scares.
It still gets me every time I play it, and I've played it for a couple of times now, so I shouldn't jump at it.
I love raiding like somebody new playing this game and them getting into this part, and I'm just sat there with my popcorn and to get to the top of those stairs, like, yes.
But yeah, the reason we headed up those stairs is because that leads to the crow door with the crow key that we just picked up from across that bridge. And Marguerite doesn't want to sit there.
Okay, so there we give her 3 shots with the G17 pistol on with the enhanced ammo and 1 shot with the Albert. And this is the last phone call, if I'm not mistaken.
Indubitably. Unless you class them via phone calls.
So we have to interact with that and send that, then the phone rings. So after this phone call, the game expects you to go to the left, up there, up those stairs, and interact with the lantern. Now, some genius figured out that you don't actually have to do that. You can do a little skip down below, which I will show you now, hopefully. There's 3 outcomes. You can either do it perfect, you can mess it up, but you teleport to the ledge you're standing next to, or you can fall down, mess it up completely, have to go up the ladder and do it like all again. So
I still need to check the second
let's
floor.
see how this works out.
Check it out. Meet me at the trail if you find it.
So we go down here. I kind of follow these floorboards here, go across, look up, look to the sides, and that hole there is now uncovered. Look at these boards here and then just drop down, and we've got it. Perfect.
Beautiful.
It's always a satisfying one to pull off, that one. Because I've got it wrong for so long, and I think I've got it down now. Take your time, mate. So this is, well, that fight with Marguerite then is kind of classed as Marge 1. It's not really a boss fight, I wouldn't say, but it is classed as Marge 1. Now we come up to...
if you're playing it casually, it's quite hard.
Yeah, that's true. Now we've got Marge 2. There's 3 different strats for this. I've tried them all, and this one seems to work the best. Shoot her in the head. The aim here is to do as much damage to in the window as you possibly can. Reload my pistol. Go to the left. Look up here. Shoot her in the head. Shoot her again in the head, hopefully. Yeah, we've got her in 1 cycle, so that's perfect. There we go, that's March 2 done. We do a bit of menuing here. We move that.
There's always a first aid in the back corner.
Yes, in that crate that I just broke then, I'm pretty sure 100% of the time there's a first aid in there.
Fucking stay dead, okay?
So we get that lantern, so now we need to head back to where we've just come from. Once that's gone, we can go through this door and back down that well. All weapons are loaded and ready. You'll get a hard landing there, which is fine. And now we head back up to the crow door. Up the ladder. Ben, don't say that, mate. Saying things like that makes me like, because I was thinking I'm going to retire this game after today because I feel like I've got everything out of it I possibly can. But I don't want to be too quick.
You're not going to retire. No, you're not.
I want to carry on, but yeah, we'll see. That ball, when it comes across at you in the first play casually, it's like, no thanks. Who is throwing things at me? I didn't like this part either.
So
It's actually
here is your
go on.
Your first interaction with Evelyn, which is sort of the antagonist of the game.
Yeah.
I'd say.
When you turn around in a second and you just see her legs through that little hole in the wall, and it's like,
Her little tootsies.
I guess this is it.
It's like creepy as it is, and then freaky little girls in horror films like never ends well. You can shoot him or saw him, but I just tend to squeeze past him. But I liked how scary this was. It was my first Resident Evil game that I played through solo. So I'm really happy, and I'm glad that they went down the first person route as well, because I think horror is much better in first person. So you can just ignore that phone call there, that's no problem.
I actually can't remember what she says on that phone call.
Neither can I, I've not listened to it for nearly a year.
I think you just tell her that you found the arm and that she's in the trailer waiting for you.
Ah, right, okay, so that's where, you go to the trailer and then the next phone rings,
Yeah.
So, there is a phone call here that you don't have to answer, you just have to trigger the phone call. And all you do is, you just run to this corner, touch it, turn around, you'll see like a saving screen or loading screen in the top left corner, and then that means it's done. And you can probably hear the phone
You'll hear
ringing.
the ringing in the background.
So now we're backtracking on ourselves, so Lucas has left a little message for you in the fridge saying, go back down to the basement basically, where you'll find the police officer. And there is a key inside his body that you have to put your hand down his neck where his head's been chopped off and pull the key out. But obviously for us, because we have the censored version, we don't have to do that. But this is the biggest time save on the Sarah D version. Okay, my bad, got too cocky. I thought, haha, I've done you. And it's like, no, you haven't. So the key now for us is just chilling on the side there. Simple.
The phone call that you skip in the trailer is from Lucas, who says that he's kidnapped Zoe and Mia, and that you need to play his little game so that you can.
That's the one.
You can get the D series head, which you need for the cure.
And we've just got the D series arm, so that's what you need to make the serum, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, serum.
It's the D series head and the D series arm.
Which is two D-series bioweapons that has been brought with Mia on her travels here to protect herself from Evie.
So when we did the out of bounds earlier and got the red key card, this is where you'd get the red key card. You do this puzzle, but you have to do this part now, or it soft locks the game. So you have to still trigger that. And then you would usually go downstairs, grab the red key card and come back up again. And then this is where we enter here, delete the walking shoes, do a bit of menuing.
Do the clock puzzle is 7 clicks to the left.
Yeah. And now we go up here for the last shadow puzzle, which is infuriating, this one. It can look like you've got it nailed, and then 9 times out of 10 you really don't. So I just push both sticks up. Oh, I've kind of messed it up. No, see, it's fine. Typical. And then you get the blue key card, which now you go to the next section and play Lucas's little game. Now this is possibly my favourite part, just because I like.
Say possibly, this is definitely my favourite.
Do you think? It's just because I like clever villains, and I like that this is. He's a bit of a. I don't know what the word is. I like his puzzle for a start, but I like how he's got traps and stuff. He's not just like barbaric and just going out and chasing you around. He's like put thought into what he's doing type thing.
Yeah, clever, chaotic energy.
And I like that about Lucas. You can just run past him, it's fine. Instant CT cards, he shouldn't touch us behind. And you just go inside.
And then Lucas's area has a bit of a nightclub vibe for some reason.
We have got a 2-minute cutscene at this point. So we just have to sit through this. There's no way of skipping it. There's no way of doing anything other than just wait for it to be done. Although one person at one time did walk in and the telly just blew up. But they have no idea how that's happened. Which is a shame, because it would be a nice time save. Definitely. But this is where you kind of see how deranged and probably mentally unstable Lucas is.
So everyone in the game is controlled and a little bit unstable, but Lucas seems to be the only character that was a little bit messed up in the first place. You read in some of the notes that he actually locked one of his childhood bullies in the attic and just left him to rot up there. And then you wonder why his dad cuts his arms off and things all the time.
Ow. That makes me cringe every single time I say it. I just couldn't imagine that happening to your nails.
It again reminds me of sort of Japanese horror films like The Grudge and things like that, where they have cutscenes where they use a lot of nails and eyes and very sensitive areas that I don't like being put into.
So Ethan,
Yes.
you can crawl around.
I've already got the ingredients, dude. Don't you worry about it.
Rotten house. All you want looking for them ingredients, but you ain't gonna find a goddamn thing, Ethan. You'll need that serum? Ooh, baby. You're gonna have to come through me. You hear?
Let's do it then.
Now, come on, Ethan.
Unfortunately, you don't get to face Lucas in the main game. He's part of the DLC. Which the DLC for this game is on point, I think. It's a lot of fun. Right, so there's now bombs in here. You can shoot the first two. Then this one in here you can walk into and block at the same time to parry the damage. And then there's one here which you can just shoot and get rid of, and then that's the bombs in those rooms done. I always shoot this to see if there's any first aid, but there's not. That one's a bomb, so don't shoot it because you will get knocked down. And then here you crouch through into the tripwire and through.
I know.
And then Lucas
Fucking
turns up.
password, right? Why don't you try 0814?
No,
No! 0621.
I forgot what it is. Do you know?
No, it's 0514.
1408.
Take a chance, you never know.
Because I'm not doing it now. So you can't put the password in now because it will just change it. You need to go here and get rid of keys. I'm going to take the walking shoes with me this time. And then when that trap there falls, it opens a little secret door. Go through here. There is a bomb here which... Okay. I missed it, but that's fine, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to shoot these because I say this every time I'm going to shoot them. Don't hit me! Thanks. It's not been the smoothest run I've ever done, but we'll take it. We shall take it. So probably say we're about halfway through now. Maybe just over halfway. Grab the battery, and then there's a thing on the right here that needs a battery in it. Sorted. And then a big boy will come in the lift. This is the first time you've come across one of these fat ones. Let him vomit. I usually reload at this point. Try not to get hit by his vomit. And then he's down, he's dead. It usually takes like 8 or 9 bullets. And you can go back up in the lift. And this is where you can discard of your New Game Plus items, because they just go straight back to the item box. So
The reason you need to discard them is because you can't enter the puzzle room with anything in your inventory.
That's it. So if you try and put the code in now in this door, and you've got all your weapons on you, Lucas will say you can't enter. Which I don't know why, because it wouldn't make any difference if you did take your weapons in, but could I do as he
Leaves you
says?
defenseless.
So the code for this door down here is on this geezer here. And it says 1408, so you know that's what it is. I've just realised what that body is there. 140, yeah, 8. You know me, I'm not very smart when it comes to the flipping things in the game.
Okay, so there is another tape, one of the found footage tapes that you can play, and it shows one of the swamp gators, who is Clancy, and it shows him going through this exact same puzzle, so you can figure out this puzzle and what kills you and what doesn't, so that when you do it here, you don't die.
Or you can do it here and still die like I did. Which was Softmit's fault in my defence, so. But yeah, it tells you how not to do it, basically.
That burnt body is Clancy, just so that you can see that the thing you're walking into is probably a bit lethal.
Yeah. So then we need to go over here. We already know what this bit is, so we burn that. We move the cursor down one place in the inventory. And then this is 5 clicks up or down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, yeah, the code is loser. You grab that handle off there, and there's no achievement for popping all the balloons, which is extremely upsetting. I spent a good couple of minutes trying to pop them all.
I think there's a good 4 of us that have all said that we've done the same thing.
I reckon a lot of people who played this have probably done that. So, and then we've turned the water off now, so we can go back to the cooker, light the candle, put the candle in the birthday cake. Yes, Tempest, I agree with that as well.
Motherfucker! You're supposed to die!
Grab the bomb, put the bomb through there, and then it's just a waiting game for the bomb to explode here. Which, if it's right, it's probably about 15 seconds or so.
You have to block at this moment.
I'm not too
Start
sure if you
taking
have to block,
damage.
but I just do it anyway, just in case. I've never tried not blocking, so I just do it. I guess tilt, it does blow you back. Right, so here's the head. So we've got the arm now, and we've got the head. That's not creepy at all. Right, goes the item box, and we can now retrieve all our items, which should, fingers crossed, be in the correct place. Yes, well done, Chris.
Pick up the crow key this time.
No, I put everything in the order I'm used to putting them in instead of doing what that like walkthrough things tells you to. I thought for the sake of this marathon, I'll just stick to what I know. As soon as I start changing things is when I get it wrong. So we're now coming up to Jack 3, which is an interesting fight. This is the only fight in this game that reminds me of a classic Resident Evil boss fight. Is that health? Nope. Fantastic.
I think the difference between this and most Resident Evil games is that you go into most Resident Evil games expecting like loads of monsters as boss fights. A lot of the boss fights in this game are mainly human.
Yes. It's like 1v1 really, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the first boss that fully resembles like an enemy or a monster.
Another nice headshot.
Obviously you've got Marguerite, who looks a bit deformed, but she's still got human features.
So here's Zoe and Mia tied up. You only have to untie Zoe at this point.
We don't have the time.
You can do Mia if you want to, but it's
have
not
both
needed.
ingredients?
She just magically becomes untied.
Right here. There should be enough, right?
If we make them fast
So this
enough,
fight, you have to...
Father and Lucas aren't far
I'll
away.
probably go quieter on this one because it can be quite a pain in the
Daddy's
backside.
coming.
Shush me, no one's listening to you.
There's enough for two.
I'm going to go down and just heal, I think. While she's doing that. Pick that up.
After we make the serum, what's next?
There's a boat outside.
Probably don't need to do that now.
Swamp. But now the vessel is very far without the serum.
So there we go, she's got that all sorted for
Hey,
us.
one of those is mine.
And here's Jack. Jack 3. So the trick here is to shoot his head as soon as you can. Then there's an eye under his tail, which is quite a tricky shot to make. I think I did it like, I sat there half an hour trying to do it one day and I finally managed to get it. So you shoot him there. Shoot him down there, so that's that awkward one done. Then the rest is basically the sword.
You start with the left side of the body.
Yeah.
Do it the
And
left
then we
side
go
and the
to-
left arm.
Use that pistol on that one, then we go back to his head. Do the arm. There's the last one gone.
So if you hit that top one, it sort of moves him over.
Yeah,
that
so
you
the
can,
next one's easier to get. So that is Jack 3 done. As easy as that. Oh, hello. Sorry, wrong weapon. Thanks for waiting, mate. Appreciate it.
I've seen
now
everything.
Zoe will turn up like nothing happened.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you're okay, Ethan. I'm like, do look okay.
Ethan, this way.
She asks you to cure her dad at this point.
Use the serum on him.
You want me to cure him?
I feel kind of sorry for Jack during this fight, because I think when you're doing it casually, he says stuff like, nobody likes me,
Yeah, he says like,
nobody loves me or something.
Are you alright?
he says about how you killed his wife, and he cries about Marguerite. And
Yeah.
it is quite sad.
Right, so this is the part where you get to choose whether you cure Zoe or Mia with the last serum. And because you guys have donated so generously to the cause, we are saving Zoe, which is slightly longer. It's the bad ending of the game.
Can't just be
You
one
get another
left.
mini boss fight with
What are we
Mia.
gonna do now?
And yes, don't go to Mia. Hello? Hello? I need to select you. Thank you. It's like, no,
Just like,
choose
no,
Mia.
You're doing well, choose Mia.
Zoe will be able to guide the two of us to safety, and then I can come back for you.
Go.
I don't want to hear it. Both of you just go.
Which, like I said before, on my casual playthrough, I chose Zoe because I was annoyed that my wife was trying to kill me.
With her.
I was like, she's
Using
had...
Zoe, you get a lot more backstory of
Yes,
Mia.
you do. Because if you save Mia at this point, you're on the boat with her and she's like... She doesn't really give you many answers, does she, about what she's been doing?
No, she sort of just says, "Oh, I don't remember."
It's like she does remember.
She doesn't remember though, because that's what you learn now, is that she needs to get her memories back.
I don't believe her. I don't believe anything she has ever said to me, to be honest.
Never believed her. But yeah, if you leave Mia, if you leave Zoe on the dock, she says that she belongs there because it's her family.
Yeah.
But then you do send help, and she does get saved in one of the DLCs.
Yes, which is possibly the best DLC, I think, of all the DLCs.
But yeah, so it's canon to save Mia and for Zoe to get saved in the DLC.
Yeah.
This is just bonus bad ending.
I can't believe you chose me.
And this is, I think this is maybe 2 or 3 minutes longer than saving Mia as well. So for a speedrun, you'd never do this.
And says he likes other donations at 777. So we've just got a village
Mia
achievement.
came here with Evelyn.
Hey!
That's how it
Finally.
started.
We figured out how to do it.
I knew Mia was hiding something.
So here is the next part that we go to. Which the first time I played this...
There's the boat that Mia came with Evelyn on.
Yes, Tempest. People always ask me to choose Zoe. I'm like, no. But, no, I'm like, yeah.
Let's go take a look.
For this, why not?
I'm not
Yeah,
going
the first
back
time I
there.
played this part of the game was... I've never been so lost on the game as I have on the ship.
It's her.
I think everyone gets
Evelyn
that
doesn't
on the
want
ship.
us to leave.
It was...
There's so many pathways,
Yeah.
so many floors, and so little guidance.
And every room looks the same, so it's like, have I been here already or not? So this is where Zoe dies.
Zoe!
Inverted commas. Air quotes, whatever you want to call them, sorry. It's like, hi Zoe. All that. Just for her to die anyway. And this is a part of the game where you take control of Mia.
And after she just told you to leave and to go away, she now ever so cares about Ethan again.
I think I'm like a minute off PB as well, so this could have been looking alright if they chose Mia. Possibly.
How?
I can do it! Even though I won't be doing it.
Would you?
And then, yeah, you take control of Mia now.
Ethan?
She's managed to get to the boat. At least she actually says Ethan in English.
Ethan.
Instead of Ethan. You were 20 seconds. That's not too bad then. Right. So there's 2 stages to the boat. One is a flashback, and then one is in real time. Prepare to be blinded as well, because it gets me every single time.
So yeah, in the flashback, you'll learn about Mia's past and how all of the things she's been lying to Ethan about, and how she's a wonderful wife.
Yeah. Basically. So going up here. Avoid all the sludge on the stairs. There's no enemies at this point, it's just getting to the next part.
Yeah, all of these flashback cutscenes talk about the people on the ship and how things are going wrong, and how there's people dying and turning into these monsters, which are the molded.
Fuck. What the hell is going on? We need some weapons. Is there any weapons on this ship?
Speak to me! I'm here too!
Look, let's go this way. Maybe
Nope.
we can get out.
Barry. We named him Barry, I don't know why. What's his name? get another hard landing. And we're coming to the end of like this like introductory section of the ship. You don't need to go in any of these rooms. I don't really think there's much in them. There might just be notes and stuff, I think.
No, there's not much in them. There's one where you open the door and a body falls out. And
Oh yeah,
scares the living daylights out of me.
Settle down, little girl. Settle.
So this is Evie again. We're going to learn a lot more about Evie on the ship.
Yeah. And how she's a lovely child and you'd love to babysit her.
What? What are you?
He's got a horrible face as well.
Horrible face, not the best laugh ever. It's quite sinister.
Someone paid me to babysit that child and I just saw them. I'd be like,
I don't know, you're right.
Keep your money.
Nice long ladder, but it's not the longest ladder in the game. This is the shortest ladder in the game.
Teeny tiny one.
You said we could be a family.
I always think she looks like an angel there with the light behind her.
What are you talking about?
You said.
You don't know it.
Wait!
Right, so we need to go and grab the fuse. The fuse makes another appearance. This guy may hit me, but it's okay. He never seems to do much damage here. And then we need to go put the fuse in here. Back upstairs to a room where Evie will be sat down and she'll ask you to play a videotape, which will then be the flashback.
It's like another one of those found footage tapes, but it's just a lot longer.
You can do this in one swift movement if you do it right, yeah, like that.
What?
So there should be about...
So where it says test subject E001, so that's that is Evie. Evie is a
You're getting worse.
she's a bioweapon, so she's actually not human at all. She's a scientific experiment.
And this is the person who's been working with Mia to look at like transport Evie, is it?
Yeah, so they're trying to transport Evie because she's currently being hunted down because basically the people they work for, who is the Connections, are kind of evil. So they're trying to sell on the bioweapons just for money, not for any particular purpose. And Alan and Mia have been acting as her parents so that they can transport her on the ship.
Where are you?
Right, so here is another skip we can do. There's 2 skips on the ship. One of them I struggle doing a lot, which I didn't manage to do this afternoon, which is typical. Which is here now. You have to open... There's a phone call, but you can skip it if you time it right. You have to activate this mold here.
Damn.
Turn around and run at the same time. And I've done it again.
Nice one.
Absolutely typical. So that skip there saves you 20 seconds, which now I can get on my PB easy. I will not be stopping running this today. Trigger the lift. Did I trigger it? No. So you can trigger the lift there. Go into this room and grab your weapons out of this box. Go back to the lift, which we are a few seconds late to it, but that's okay. A molded will drop down. And then we go down to the basement floor. Put your weapons where you want them, which is usually in those positions. I don't usually use the machine gun just because it's pretty weak. So just stick with the beastie pistol and the circular saw. There is a headshot you can get here off this guy, or you can just miss him, because that's what I tend to do a lot of the time. Grab those bombs, and this is where you do the next skip, which is another phone call. May as well just get rid of him while you can. You drop this bomb around here. And you'll find out in a second why.
And then you need to make sure that you don't reload your guns or
Yes,
anything.
do
while
not
you're going
detonate.
around here.
However tempting it is, do not press X. Although it is really hard to like. Just because it's on the screen, it's like you want to press X or you want to press whatever weapon button it is on PC or whatever.
But if you do need to reload any guns, you can just shoot them out
Yeah,
and they will reload automatically.
So we need to go down here.
No,
Evie will be speaking to you,
I'm
and
not
there'll be a
mad.
little prompt where she says, I don't want to be at the lab anymore. That's when you can turn around.
I don't want to live in the lab anymore. I want a house. And I want you to be my mommy.
Okay, Evie. I'll be your mommy.
Now she
Come
runs
back
off.
with me. Evie,
So
wait!
now there'll be another phone call with Alan. And this phone call you can also skip.
Yes, but she ran off.
You have to
She's
wait for
making
these
more
doors to
friends,
open,
Alan.
which is where the
Those
bomb
things
comes in.
are everywhere.
So you can stand here, detonate the bomb,
Are you okay?
and you can get through the doors. So you don't have to wait for the phone call to finish. Take down one of them. Never usually do that, but I thought I'd do something different for a change.
Well, you flew for it, so...
Get back in the lift. And that's them done. You don't have to kill them, it just... While you're waiting for the lift here, they will catch up to you, so... Let's go back to the second floor, I think it is. No, third floor. And the lift will break down.
As every good lift does.
Yep. Because why would the lift in the horror game just work the whole time?
Emergency safety
In fairness, the boat's been sat there for 3 years.
Am I going left here? I think I'm going So we need to backtrack slightly. Go through here. And then there will be a molded that pops up around this corner, but you can headshot him quite nice. And then you go through this little like hatch or vent, it probably is. And then we need to go back upstairs. It's thinking about it, I don't know how I figured all this out when I did it for the first time. I was probably just walking around for hours like, where do we go?
Yeah, it does give you some prompt.
And you see Alan, who's not in a good way whatsoever.
Where's Evie?
She's out of control.
Probably because you skipped this phone call, she's probably a little bit annoyed about it.
Well, it's a good thing we're already dying.
Went looking.
Don't say that.
Poor Alan.
She trusts you. That little bitch, she never trusted. Okay, wait. Evie, no, Evie.
Alan,
I didn't mean
listen.
to call you that.
She's
Evie,
trying to take
Yeah,
control.
you shouldn't have called her the B word.
No woman likes that. It's really not good in our books.
So this is where Alan is.
Evelyn, stop! Stop!
He's not in a good place.
He's being taken over by Evelyn, which, as we know from the Baker family, consists of taking over every single cell of their being and getting into their head.
Here she is now.
They've got the boots.
Yeah. And she basically does the same to Mia, I think.
Yeah, she infects Mia at that point.
Because Mia doesn't want to be a mum anymore, so she's like, right.
Oh, should have been a mum.
Right. So now we carry on. Go through this door on the left, which triggers the only skippable cutscene in the game, which is the best cutscene in the game. I would watch it, but it does go.
But yeah.
The timer doesn't stop when you watch it.
There is the laptop just to the left as well, which
Oh, yes.
is the cut. It's where she creates the cutscene at the start when she's talking to Ethan.
So you can skip this one, which is really, really infuriating because it's a really like beautifully done cutscene.
It's really cinematic, that one.
Yeah.
Now do you remember?
Yes, Evelyn. I remember.
Can we be a family like before?
This laugh is horrible.
No, Evie. We can't be a family.
You get to see her creepy,
We were
horrible little
never
face.
a family. We will never be a family.
Then I don't need you anymore.
She kind of looks like my little brother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If he did an evil laugh, that's what he looked like. Right, so now we go up the longest ladder in the game. And I got that bored this morning. I googled what is the longest ladder in any video game, and apparently it's not this one. So,
what is it?
Metal Gear Solid 3, apparently.
Okay, that makes sense.
But this does go on for a while. Although there's one in Village that is longer than that one. So on a casual playthrough, you would go on this laptop here, and you would see, not laptop, PC, and see that Ethan is downstairs in the basement. So,
And then Evie would grab you.
Yeah.
And sort of seem like a hallucination, but she does leave a mark on you, so it just shows how in her head that she is.
Yeah. So now the next task is to fix the lift.
As we know, Mia is a lift technician.
Yeah. She's extremely strong at opening lift doors, and she can fix lifts. Right, so we go up here. You can do this with weapons, but I am a daredevil and don't take weapons with me. So you grab this corrosive here. And we go...
There's a skip there as well, isn't there, that makes it really
Yes, but it's quite hard to turn on console. It is possible, because people do it, but...
Yeah, when I was watching it, it looked incredibly different.
So we need to grab this fuse again for the lift. We need to block his attack and run past. Back up to the lift. Up the ladder again. To the third floor where Alan died and where that cutscene triggered. Through here. You can ignore him, it's not a problem. He may hit you, but I don't think it actually does any damage. I'm worried about how much red's on the screen as well.
You'll be alright.
And I'm trying to think where there's health, but I'm not 100% sure where there is any.
There might be one up in this room.
Okay, cheers game, appreciate
it. Is there any in those cupboards just to the left?
Possibly. I mean, if we die, we die. It's not the end of the world. We just carry on. Right, so now we've got the power cable and the fuse. This guy, you can just run past him. He's so fat, you can't really turn around. So. By the time he's realised where you've gone, it's too late.
Feel free where to let me know if there's time for a donation.
Yes, I will. I'll let you know when. Oh yeah, there is a cutscene coming up actually, so... No, wrong one. Right, so now we can... Well, we have fixed the lift. So we can go back down to the basement. And be the hero. Save our loving husband who didn't just save us a minute ago.
Return the favour, oh wait.
He's waiting.
So this is where having weapons would be slightly useful. But this guy absolutely lunges at you. Okay, well this time he did a nice slow attack. If this one jumps back, it's like perfect RNG like that. He just lets you through. This one on the stairs pops up, but you can squeeze past him and no issues as well. And then this big boy is going to ruin my day. Let me pass, thank you. See what I mean, Leah? I was saying before, like...
Yeah, sometimes he can come at you really quick and leave a gap, and then sometimes he's just a pain.
Right, so this will be a cutscene now if you'd like to read out any donations.
Alright, wonderful.
Ethan.
Because we have $1.20 from Tempest Mask 1000 with the comment, "Welcome to the family, son." Well, that is to say, welcome to survival horror, where anything and anyone could go after your hide, much like Castlevania. And on that note, thanks to SASE for letting me show off Castlevania Legends yesterday. I'm glad to help Organization for Autism Research in any way I can. Until next time, thank you very much for your very specific donation, Tempest Match, because that puts us at exactly $777.
Brilliant.
Raised this event.
Thank you, guys.
She infected us.
It's for a great cause. I will be donating at some point this weekend as well. Well, tonight, because it finishes tonight.
I found a busted out tank.
Yeah, this cutscene is... You find out...
Everything changed after that.
Well, actually, I'll let Leah explain.
So she infects you and then she takes
Alright,
control?
okay.
No.
Yeah, so this is where Jack talks to you about his experiences with Evie and how she takes over your mind, your body.
She forces away into your mind, your soul.
And yeah, she just turns you into something you're not. And this is the same way that she creates all of these molded, is by taking over people's bodies and infecting them with this mold.
And Jack's basically saying how they're the victims, like they're not the bad guys and all this. And
You're a different person.
it's actually quite a sad story, really.
So Mia sent me a message because of Evelyn.
Listen, the girl just wants a family of her own.
But yeah, I like this cutscene.
Quite heartwarming to go from seeing them as the villains to seeing them as
Actually,
being
not,
on your side
Yeah.
and being the victims.
they're not the bad guys after all.
Ethan. Free my family. Please.
Poor Jack, or poor Baker family.
Stay away from him.
Why? He doesn't love us. I can make him love you.
Don't hurt him.
So this is where Mia now frees Ethan, but she has a funny turn,
You're not my mommy.
and this is where the repercussions of saving Zoe. This is one of them.
There's no time. Here, take this. I won't be able to resist for much longer.
Right, so you find a crowbar down here.
Yeah. No. No.
Ow.
So she gave him a sample of Evelyn's tissue, which when you read like notes and things of the game, you learn that the only way to cure a E-series infection is by making the serum from 2 D-series combined, or to destroy the actual E-series bioweapon, you need to stimulate the tissue samples of that E-series.
So that's why she needed the sample.
Which is why she gave the sample, so that he can go and turn it into a serum to kill Evelyn.
So that is Mia dead.
What the fuck are
So
And
obviously,
he says the same phrase every
yes, he
time.
does. Yeah.
Whether
so
he
we're
saves
coming-
Zoe or Mia.
Yes, we're coming to the tail end of the game. Basically, got to get back to the house and find Evie. go, go. It's amazing, like looking at the timer, how long that takes. Like that fight adds on to the run. It's crazy. Give me the fish. Chop, chop. So here we grab all our items again out of the item box. There is a grenade launcher as well, which does come in useful towards the end of the game, so we pick that up as well while we're here. Because who doesn't love a grenade launcher?
The grenade launcher can be got
in the house,
in the game, but there's no point in picking it up because you can just pick it up just here.
Right. So we have flame rounds and we have neuro rounds, which like stun the enemies. But I tend not to shoot these and just run through. They can hit you, but it's not the end of the world. Getting another lift. Right, and now we can do some menu in here. So we want that there, we want that there. And that is it. Pistol, assault, grenade launcher. When the lift stops, there's a little bomb on the side there, which you can just shoot away. This is part of Lucas's game, I think.
Yeah, so
should have used the
you
saw.
find out in one of the DLCs that Lucas has been sort of taken on by
the connections.
The connections, yeah, sorry. And he has been given an antidote sort of thing, so that he still has his powers, but Evelyn can't control him anymore. And he's granted access to this little lab in the salt mines to conduct some research and to spy on the Vapor Power. But you'll also learn in that he decided against all of that and that he doesn't care about the connections and he's just a bit psycho.
Just a little bit. Shoot that bomb there.
This is all part of his games.
That one's a bomb, so never shoot that one. Through here, and then this is where you put the tissue sample into this little machine.
So in this room, you can read all the notes and things like that, and it tells you about the development of the mold and how it takes over people, and the different symptoms and the development it takes. It shows you that all of the E-series are designed to look like 10-year-old girls, and basically tells you how to destroy Evelyn and how she is created.
So this is going to be the last reset of the game. Retry, sorry.
Supersonic mode.
Yeah, this is where the speed that Ethan now moves at is insane. It caught me off guard the first time. I couldn't aim whatsoever. I was like, this is weird. No? Thank you, game. Do a retry there. And now we are speedy. Oh, what are you doing? This is where I miss all my shots. Didn't need to get that out, it's just through the pistol, but it's fine. Oh, I killed him. Haha!
So these grenade launcher rounds that are being shot are, it's a neurotoxin, which is the same thing that kills Evelyn, and it just slows them down. So it's the neurotoxin in gas form, so it just sort of...
So you can just use that on those two that basically stuns them.
It gives you just enough time to get up that ladder. Otherwise,
Yes, Fled, you do get to move as fast as you do in Village. That's very true. Ethan's definitely been practicing his retries, hasn't he, between 7 and 8. And then this is basically where we start the game. In this little room. Mia's going to go through all this. So these are all hallucinations, aren't they? Are they?
And there was a photo just to the right-hand side of Grandma, and if you turn it over, it does say E-000-001, which is Evelyn's code, hinting towards that Evelyn is actually Grandma. And as you learn down in that lab, the E series, the only downfall to them is that they age rapidly.
It's okay. It's okay. It's me.
Mike, imagine.
Kill him, Mommy.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
But you shouldn't
That would be mental.
have done that. It fucking hurts.
Does it want to be my daddy?
And he can die.
Then he can die.
She's just
Yeah,
an
she
evil-looking
looks
child,
terrifying.
isn't she?
Now
She's
it's
just
Mommy's
evil.
turn to kill
Horrible.
you.
So, Evie will be stood down here, laughing away with that horrible little laugh she has.
And then maybe you'll play nice.
I'm not playing.
No! Get that away from me!
That doll always creeped me out as well, it just appears on the table.
The giant one.
Yeah. First time I saw that, I was like, nope. So Evie will be here now and she will attack you. She'll do these like wind blasts.
Get away!
And you can get to her between the first one and the second one.
Don't!
I aim for this pipe on the wall. I might not get there. Oh no, there we go. And then it turns out
Get to its serum.
it's little old grandma.
Because you kill everyone.
Yeah. And this is supposed to be the last boss fight, but it's pretty underwhelming for a boss fight.
Especially for a final boss fight.
Yeah. Like it's a lot more difficult casually, obviously, when you've got a shotgun and stuff, but here we can just use a circular saw and just wait it out.
I would have loved if you had to kill her like this in multiple positions in the house.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't just this final bit.
That would have been cool. And you still find out the true what it is. You know what I mean? True person.
Yeah.
But the heads just keep popping up throughout the walls in the house and stuff. And here there's nothing much you can do, it's just waiting.
Just way back.
Have a little bit of fun with the grenade launcher. But shooting it does nothing. You've got to wait for it to grab you. Which she does. And you
Looks comfortable if I'm being honest.
just attack it, and Ethan drops a very long way. He sustains no injury whatsoever because he's an absolute machine.
That must be a broken spine.
It must be, but it's Ethan, isn't it? He's just...
Legend.
And you get told to use this gun, which is the one you unlock after your first playthrough, which is the one we've been using the whole game. But this one gets 9 bullets.
The reason this gun is so powerful is because it's got neuro rounds in it, so it's the same as what would be used for.
That is the
same
end.
as what was used for the grenade.
then she crumbles away. And then some guy who calls himself Chris Redfield jumps down.
It's not Chris Redfield, is it?
It's not Chris Redfield. It really angered me the first time I saw it. He's like, I'm Chris Redfield. It's like, no, you're not. Why are you lying?
Chris Neckbeard.
Yes, exactly. It's like, where's the Chris that punches boulders? Because this isn't him. I was like, oh, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Is it Lucas? Is it Jack? No. Who are you?
I'm Redfield.
No, you're not.
I'm glad we found you.
I'm not glad you lied.
The fuck took you guys so long?
He's not bulky enough.
No, exactly. You've gone from like Chris Redfield in Res 5, who's an absolute machine, to Chris in 6, who's a machine. Oh yeah, there's so Mia. When you save Mia, would be here, but obviously she's now dead.
And then instead of deleting the video and forgetting about her, we have to
watch it over
obviously
and over.
have to sit here watching some.
I can't listen to her
small
again.
Video.
She's far too irritating. But yeah, that is Resident Evil 7 New Game Plus Easy, and we got a 133.30, which, considering the time, we saved Zoe, isn't too bad, and we messed up a couple of things along the way, but I'll take it. So that is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the run. If you've never seen it before, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have seen it before and you know what you're doing, I'm sorry. But yeah, thank you, and thanks for having us on as well and accepting my run.